Jessica Herbst, Activities Assistant at Knollwood Military Retirement Community. I started here with a previous background in assisted living, and I came into this lovely bag of fluff and quickly learned that it was instrumental in working with residents who have dementia. So coming from assisted living to memory care and skilled, he's been a really big asset. I have used primarily stuffed animals, baby doll play, that kind of thing in memory care. I think I was more skeptic about my strength in using him effectively with residents, especially residents on an individual level. But I mean, when you first use him, you can immediately see with the right resident that he does a lot of good work. So we kind of identify those who have different sensory needs and that could benefit, which, I mean, not to get into it, but you learn when you kind of go through the dementia training. But with regards to him, with most who we feel could benefit, we at least try. That's a good amount of our residents, and you can kind of tell right off the bat if they will latch on and continue to benefit, or if they enjoy it in the moment. So it was a lot of reading and kind of trying on my own, talking to him and seeing what elicited these certain responses, and then integrating them on the floor just kind of experimentally to see how it benefited residents as well. If I'm thinking of certain people that I see, it's a lot of different aspects. Like, you could even say his fur, which when you guys were touching him is pretty just fun. But a lot of them go to hold him and it's the fur, but then it's the movement. And then they talk with him, and then it's the cute responses, the cooing, but it's also the eye contact. I even have residents that enjoy his whiskers and his eyelashes. So I mean, for different residents, it's different things. With me, I guess I'd have to say his just response to verbal cues. So if you say positive things, he immediately perks up, and they completely say, oh my gosh, this is an animal. And they just say, oh, how adorable, and kind of open up like it's a pet. I think I would make him less bulky, only to say that a lot of my residents are very petite, and because I'm in skilled nursing, a lot of my residents are advanced in age, and a lot of them are wheelchair bound. So sometimes it's hard to balance him on a lap. He's a little big. I mean, he's the size of a club seal, a baby club seal, I should say. So he is a little bulky. We were sitting and spending time together, and usually when she's acting out, I can redirect her with a teddy bear, or especially the baby dolls. And she will quiet down because she's holding the baby and the baby needs to sleep. But she was fussy. I didn't have baby dolls, and I wanted to see how she would respond with something that moved and interacted with her. And she immediately looked at him. She had this brow of disgust and anger, and I just kind of whipped PARO around, and she just lit up like a little firecracker. She just said, oh my gosh. And she, not to tell you more about her, but she's my classic dementia. So when it comes to expressing, she's medically stable, but when it comes to expressing her wants and needs, it's difficult because of the disconnect with her words and how she's feeling. But she immediately looked at him and she said, oh my gosh, how adorable. And I had him like this, and she immediately took him like a baby, like this, and just went, oh, how cute. I mean, I definitely do. It's really difficult because we have so many patients that come in on a regular basis that don't react to the things that other residents do. They're not as alert. Their cognition is declining. So when it comes to sensory STEM, which is what I would consider PARO, who's more actively involved, I think it's really engaging because with certain residents, even if I wanted to bring in a pet, I can't bring in a pet. They might not be able to interact with an animal on a safe basis. I definitely would agree that he's a complementary tool to my facilities because sometimes he'll elicit a response that I can't get from someone. I mean, we're all human. Unfortunately, I'm not furry and adorable. And for some people, it just integrates this, it's just something different. Sometimes you get to someone and you just say, all right, I've tried this and then I've tried this. What's something creative that I can try? And this is just one of those creative options that kind of opens up a person to possibilities.